have an episode on my favorite aquarium family of fish, which is the plecostomus, or pleco. So we're just going to refer to the plecostomus as a pleco from now on. It's a subfamily of the catfish. And the catfish, there's 4,000 species of catfish available to the pet trade. There's 150 plecos within that catfish family, and most of those are available in the trade. And we're going to see a few of those today. I think we have one little guy in our show tank here. He's here among our unknown species behind him, competing for some live blackworms we just added to the tank. And then, Mike, if you can show to the right, here's some wild discus we just got from Brazil. And these are not heckles, they're blue discus, but they don't have that solid bar down their eye. That's how you can tell the difference between a heckle and a blue. The one in the back looks like a heckle, it's not, it has too many bars. So let's go over and take a look at Aqualog's poster, which is the poster child for all the colors and patterns of plecostomus. So once again, today we have our sponsor from aquariumfishsale.com, Sherry. And Sherry's going to learn a little bit about plecos herself. Her background's primarily saltwater. But here, this is the clown or candy stripe pleco. The species are so similar, and they're often confused for one another. And most of the time when I get them from Colombia, we have a very difficult time telling those two species apart. But this is a really great posters. Unfortunately, they don't make this anymore, showing all the main colors and patterns of the plecos. We have a beautiful blue phantom pleco here. You're going to see that today. You're going to see the candy stripe. You'll see over here very expensive plecos like the Goldie pleco that's out there in the warehouse today. We have the L46 zebra pleco. I really love the false zebra plecos, and you'll see some of those today. So without further ado, Sherry, you're ready to go out the warehouse?
Yeah, so Randy, where do you get these?
Almost all plecos, there's a few varieties in the Caribbean area, but nearly all plecos come from South America, all over South America, but some are regionalized. For instance, the L46, the zebra pleco, only comes from a little area in Brazil, and it's now threatened because of the new dams they built there, unfortunately. Goldie pleco comes from Brazil. Pit bull, rubber lip plecos, which you'll see today. The candy stripes, most of those are imported from Colombia, the Amazon basin there. But you'll find plecos are interesting too. They all have scientific names, but some plecos look totally different from each other. The blue phantom and green phantom plecos, the same species, they can interbreed, but one's green and one's blue, and it's just depending on where they're caught. So they have L numbers. The German Aquarium Society, they have a longer name, came up with an L rating so that you could figure out what pleco you're getting based on not the scientific name, but the L number. That's the purpose of the L number. It has nothing to do with ichthyology. It's really designed for the aquarium trade. So you have an L128 for the blue phantom pleco and an L200 for the green phantom pleco, and that's the purpose of the L numbers. Okay, so here, Sherry, we have the gold nugget pleco. These guys, let's see if I can bring one out to you. These guys are known for their obviously gold little specks called gold nuggets, and the beautiful yellow fringe on the top of their dorsal fin and caudal fin. Here's a caudal fin. I'll let this guy go. Sorry for torturing you. And they're found in Brazil. Very, very popular. They're around, I think they retail generally for around $60. So they're not an inexpensive pleco, but they live 10 years and grow to about 6 to 7 inches.
What do you feed them, Randy?
Most plecos are omnivorous, including the gold nugget pleco. A few aren't, but the gold nugget plecos do have to have wood as part of they need fiber. Algae wafers can provide that, but I would always put a piece of driftwood in with any fancy pleco. But they'll also scavenge from the food you feed the rest of the aquatic species in your fish tank. And here, Sherry, we have what's called the false zebra pleco. It has a little brown in the body, but the black, nice solid black bars of the true zebra pleco, but not that real distinct pattern. So that smaller guys are a little harder to catch, but fun. So you can see the marbling pattern on this, and you can't hear it on the video. They make a little croaking sound. Most plecos and catfish in general will do that when they get stressed. So let's not stress this little guy out anymore. There you go, little guy. They are like the gold nugget plecos. They're omnivorous. They're very hardy. They only grow to 3.5 inches, and they'll get along with pretty much every species in the fish tank.
And where do they get the pattern from?
Oh, that pattern, some people say it's a camouflage pattern due to the rippling in the water. Most plecos are found in faster moving streams. That's why they have that big sucker mouth and that long profile body to help them survive in fast moving waters. But in the case of zebra pleco, I mean, or the false zebra pleco, both of them, it's just theories. Sherry, this is one of the more common plecos and very affordable. These are bushy nose plecos. You can see very the tip of their nose. They have all kinds of barbs. That helps them sense food when they're scavengers, herbivores actually, so they eat a lot of algae. Great for fish tanks for consuming detritus, plant detritus and algae. But they have those barbels at the end of their nose that makes them very distinct, and as they grow older they get longer, and hence they're called the bushy nose or bristle nose plecos. And they come in red varieties, long fin, albino. There's a lot of they're very hardy, been captive bred for probably a century, so there's a lot of variations that the aquarium enthusiasts. Here's a very expensive hider called the true L46 zebra pleco. They come from Brazil. They're illegal to import wild L46 plecos in the United States now due to damming in Brazil, but there are tank-raised species brought in through Indonesia, and we have a tank of them here. They're very expensive, but they have beautiful patterns. Let's see if I can bring this guy off of here. So what makes this species so desirable is that very strong pattern between the whites and the blacks. It's also, once it's established in the aquarium, very hardy fish. It only grows to 4 inches, so it's good for any size tank, even a very small one. Very hard to breed though. The males and females are not distinguishable, so you need a school of them, and at retail at $300 a piece, that's a pretty expensive endeavor. So again, these are hard to find in the trade, but a really beautiful pleco. This one and the Titanic pleco are probably the most expensive in the fish trade.
Randy, why are these called pit bull plecos?
Well, they're also called spotted rubberlip plecos, but the nickname is stuck with pit bull because they have these lips. Let's see if I can show them to you. They have these just mean-looking mouths, kind of like a big squashed face, like the pit bull dog. And you can see it, and they'll glom right onto the side of the aquarium and do a nice job cleaning off all the algae from there. So they're great scavengers, a very affordable pleco. And see if you can see the spotted pattern on here. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. This is a little, we call this almost 2 inches in size, measure from tip to tail. But the rubberlip pleco just has a solid gray body. The pit bull pleco has that spotted pattern, but otherwise they're identical. And there you go.
Randy, I recognize this from the poster. Why does it say sunshine? Isn't it the goldie pleco?
It's like a lot of aquarium fish. They have several different common names. This one's the L14 Goldie pleco, also called a sunshine pleco, and it is a part of a subfamily of plecos called the cactus plecos. Cactus plecos have a little extra armor on their body, They are all from Brazil, and they're all expensive. You can see right now this is a juvenile. He's about 3.5 inches long from tip to tail. When they grow older, they get a really solid gold body. Really beautiful color pattern. So anyways, that's one of the more exotic species of vale. Here's a really pretty pleco. We were talking about the green phantom and blue phantom pleco. In this lighting, you really don't see the blue sheen, but they have just a lovely dark blue sheen with a spotted pattern body. These guys will grow to about 9 inches, 8 to 9 inches. I just grabbed this pleco from our assorted fancy tank. We only have one, unfortunately, this week. This is the blue Panac pleco. It's already been here for about 3 weeks. It's the last of a nice shipment of blue Panacs we brought in. So it's not even on our stock list, and I'm going to hold it until we get another batch in. But these guys are just gorgeous in the right tank lane. Great in a planted tank. I don't know, Sherry, if you can really see the blue in here with this lighting, but it's a really deep blue, intense pattern. So that was just a nice group of plecos. There's many more. We didn't even look at the most common pleco of them all, the Trinidad pleco. That grows to about 2 feet, so sometimes not the most desirable for the aquarium, but a great scavenger. And if you're going to have some big fish in the tank, then he's a terrific pleco. All of them need probably a piece of driftwood and a good hiding place. So as nocturnal feeders, they generally are shy, so they like a place where they can hide. And so this is actually a great environment just around this wood area for plecos. And as you saw earlier, this little pleco always likes to hide in the same little hole on the other side. Mike, I don't know if you can get him there.
Aquarium Fish Eye would like to see your pleco habitat. So send us a photo of your aquarium, and we'll randomly select a person to receive a $50 gift certificate. Send it to us, support@aquariumfishsale.com.